Good evening everyone. My name is Divesh Kumar Chauhan. I am currently pursuing my BTech from Biotechnology in NIT Durgapur. Today I will be discuss the topic degree of carbon and hydrogen. This is the basic fundamental concept of organic chemistry. So let's start. So here first we will understand what is degree. What is degree? So degree is basically represented by connectivity. And if we take the full word degree of carbon means degree of carbon means the surrounding connectivity of carbon with carbon atoms. The surrounding connectivity of carbon with carbon atoms. So there are four types of degree of carbons. Four types. First is 1 degree carbon. Second is 2 degree carbon. Third is 3 degree carbon. Fourth is 4 degree carbon. Here 1 degree carbon is surrounded by one carbon. That's why it is called 1 degree carbon. And similarly 2 degree carbons means what? Surrounded by 2 carbons. And similarly 3 degree carbons means surrounded by 3 carbons. Similarly 4 degree carbons means surrounded by 4 carbons. They are also known as primary carbon, and 2 degree carbon is also known as secondary carbon, three degree carbon known as tertiary carbon, 4 degree carbon is known as quaternary carbon. Now we will understand this concept by some examples. Let us take this structure. So here, as by the definition of degree of carbon, this carbon is 1 degree because it is surrounded by only this carbon, and this carbon is 2 degree carbon because it is surrounded by this or this carbon. Now also same as this carbon is also 2 degree carbon. Now this carbon, this is surrounded by 1, 2, 3 carbon. So this is called as 3 degree carbon, and this carbon also 1 degree carbon as is surrounded by only one carbon. Now let us take another example. Here take another example. Now we will take some complex example like this. In this example we can see that this carbon is 2 degree carbon because surrounded by 2 carbons. This carbon also 2 degree carbon. This carbon 3 degree carbon, as we know, surrounded by 3 carbons. This carbon also 3 degree carbon, This carbon also 2 degree carbon. This carbon 2 degree. Here this is surrounded by 3 carbons, so 3 degree carbon. This is 2 degree carbon. This is also 2 degree carbon, and this carbon also surrounded by 3 carbons, so 3 degree carbons. Now we will take some conceptual example. Here we all know this is structure. This is benzene. So in that structure, here we have seen that there are double bond presents. Okay. So while calculating the degree of carbon, we will ignore the double bond and triple bond. Similarly, we have to calculate the degree that we done in these examples. So here we see that this carbon is surrounded by 2 carbon. So this is 2 degree carbons. This is also 2 degree carbons. Here all are 2 degree carbons. Apart from double bond and triple bond, we have to ignore aromaticity and non-carbon functional group. Now we will understand degree of hydrogen. Degree of hydrogen. So what is degree of hydrogen? Basically we know the degree of carbon, so also is similar, but here we have to calculate the total number of hydrogen present in carbon atom. So 1 degree hydrogen is the hydrogen atom which is connected by 1 degree carbon. Similarly, there are 2 degree hydrogen is the hydrogen atom which is connected by 2 degree carbon. Also 3 degree hydrogen which is the hydrogen connected by 3 degree carbon. Here the 4 degree hydrogen does not exist because of the carbon valency is fulfilled. Now we will take some example. This is a basic example. Let's consider a chain. So here we see that this carbon is connected by 1 carbon, so this is 1 degree carbon. So by the definition of 1 degree hydrogen, this is a 1 degree hydrogen. This carbon is 2 degree carbon, and the hydrogen which is connected by this carbon is also 2 degree hydrogen. This carbon is 1 degree carbon, and the hydrogen present at this carbon is 1 degree hydrogen. Let's take a next example. So let's consider this example and calculate the hydrogen degree. This carbon, as we see, connected by 1 carbon, so 1 degree carbon, and the hydrogen is also 1 degree hydrogen. This carbon also a 4 degree carbon, but as the carbon valency is fulfilled, there is no hydrogen present. This carbon connected by 1 carbon, so it is also 1 degree carbon, and hydrogen is 1 degree hydrogen. This is similarly 1 degree carbon and 1 degree hydrogen. Now take this. This is tertiary carbon, so 3 degree carbon, and the hydrogen is also 3 degree hydrogen. Now take this. This is 2 degree carbon because surrounded by 2 carbons, so 2 degree carbon, and the hydrogen present at this is 2 degree hydrogen. Also, majorly we calculate the half of the part. This part is similar than this, so this is also a 1 degree carbon, and the hydrogen present is 1 degree hydrogen. This is also 1 degree carbon, 1 degree hydrogen. Similarly, we can calculate the hydrogen and carbon degree by the concept. So today we learn the degree of carbon and degree of hydrogen. This is the basic fundamental concept of basic organic chemistry. This is the root of organic chemistry, and also it makes the basic understanding of molecular structures, their reactivity and their classification. Thank you.